Like I had a guy, he had like 20 reviews, all were 5-star, and he told me his grandfather passed, and he sent me the, I didn't even ask him for documentation. He sent me I think he sent the death certificate. I gave him a full refund.
Okay.
So I'm not like, no, I don't go that far. But if you're just canceling and you don't tell me anything, then no, you're not getting your money back.
Got you.
Can't do it like that.
And most people don't know Airbnb takes a percentage of each reservation, right? You want to talk about that a little bit?
So Airbnb takes a 3% service fee, but it doesn't come out of your profits or what you make.
Where does it come from?
The guests pay it. Yep. So let me say this: the guest has its fee, and you have to pay 3% service fee for Airbnb.
Okay.
Got it.
Gotcha.
So how quick can you get an Airbnb? Like, all right, let's say I get an apartment, and how quick of a turnaround can I realistically expect to start Airbnb it out and somebody coming to?
So honestly, I'm going to be straight up with you. So my units, I tell my clients, you don't take longer than 7 days to get furnished. If you take longer than 7 days, I'm putting you at the back of my list. Because this is what happens. Say I pay $1,200 in rent on the 1st. I need to be listed by the 7th. Why? Say I take 14 days. Guess what? Rent coming up in 2 more weeks. So now you're coming out of pocket with rent. It doesn't make sense. It makes your investment pointless. The point of it is to get somebody, it's a short-term rental business. So you got a short period of time to get listed. You understand what I'm saying? So when I tell my clients, hey, once you get your keys, you need to, once you're applying for the place, you need to be getting furniture. If you know you're not gonna get approved, then you don't need to be applying. You need to find somebody who you know is gonna get approved. So once you get listed, once you get your keys, I tell them 7 days. A lot of them take 3 or 4 days. It just depends. And then I'm scheduling my photographer. So I'll do my walkthrough to make sure everything looks, as I did here. And then I'll schedule the photographer. The photographer, he's my own photographer, so he normally gets them back to me within 24 hours. I'm listing them.
And then how long, when you list it, what's the usual turnaround time for somebody actually books it?
2 hours, 3 hours.
3 hours?
Wow.
I can show you that on my phone. My clients be getting booked. They be having 5 reservations by the 24-hour mark, period.
Period with a T.
Period. No, I'm saying I was just saying period. I'm saying by the 24-hour mark.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like,
the actual period.
Not like a city girls period, like an actual.
Not a city girls period.
Actual period.
Both are the same. It's the same thing.
So
Same
yeah,
thing.
by 24 hours, they be like, Lexi, is this my unit? I be like, yep, that's you.
That's you.
Yep.
All right. So outside of the cleaning thing, you said that was kind of hurt you in the business. Is there any other obstacles that you face that you can tell people, like, hey, look out for this?
Look out for this. Screening. You have to be careful of people who have negative reviews already. People who are, let me say this, natives. I don't accept Atlanta reservations. I just don't. Because this is what I asked them. Why do you need my place if you live here? Nothing. I will accept them under conditions. Because I have people who live here and they have businesses. They'll come film like this.
Yeah.
I get these all the time.
Okay.
People, cooking shows. They love how the kitchen's set up. What else? Just
So you
businesses.
think, like, if they live in the city, it's something fishy. They throwing a party.
They're probably throwing a party
Thank
at your
you.
spot.
They're doing
Or you doing something you ain't got no business doing. Now I do get those
You
couples.
cheating on your wife. You doing something. You doing something.
Some extra.
No, that ain't none of my business right there.
Nah, you doing something. You doing something. You doing something.
But I will ask them if I see that your profile states, because your profile will state you live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then if I look at your area code, if it say 404-770-470 or 678, I'm not gonna accept you.
Well,
So
that's the area. That's the zip codes.
those are 4 zip codes for Atlanta.
Got you. What? So
Don't try it.
A lot of times people say no parties in the Airbnb, right? But there's no cameras inside. Is that based on the security outside? Is that something that should be standard in all Airbnbs, having a security camera outside to see the traffic coming in?
You don't know a party. You will know. I know a party every time. I had a guy come stay in the loft, the movie theater loft, and he told me it was him, his wife, and his kids, his 2 kids. When I went in there, it was 12 pizza boxes at the door. It was 4 trash bags. They had a bunch of pink and yellow plates and a bunch of pink and yellow silverware in the cabinet. This ain't no kids. He was like, oh yeah, I live out of town and my kids came, my wife came, and we just had a party. So on that unit, I had a camera. I had a Ring camera. And I didn't look at my cameras. Like, I don't go look at them. If a guest tell me something, I'll believe it. Like, I was like, okay. But something kept telling me, my instinct was like, go look at these cameras. This man had 14 people in my unit. He said it was only supposed to be 4 people. There were 14 people. It was a huge little slumber party with a bunch of girls. Like, you know, it wasn't an issue. It was a principle. If you would have just told me that from before, I would have let you did. But because you didn't tell me, now you're about to give me that $20 per extra guest fee.
That's what I was going to say. So there's a charge for every person that comes in outside of that?
$20.
Okay.
You can charge what you want to charge. Some people charge 10. Some people charge 15, but I charge 20.
Whoever that man is, you played yourself, man.
So when it comes to the security, it really, you will know a party. Like I've had units where there were ashes everywhere. There leave roaches all in the, on the counter, just messy. You'll smell it because a lot of them don't have balconies. They're just careless.
So you could just decide not to let somebody use your Airbnb?
Yep.
And there's no reason why you got to give them?
Well, if they book and you want to cancel them, you have to give a reason. But if they're just inquiring, you don't have to accept them. You get what I'm saying? So on Airbnb, you can inquire and send like a message like, hey, how close is this to the airport? That's an inquiry. And then I have the option of accepting the pre-approval. Yeah. So you can go accept the pre-approval, or you can just do an instant book. It's either one.
Do you do I know, like, as a guest, you can write a review, but does the owner, you write a guest review as well?
We write reviews as well.
So if it's the first time I signed up for Airbnb and I'm trying to get a spot, obviously I don't have any reviews. Yeah. Is that looked upon a certain way?
There are a lot of first timers. So I really don't judge off you not having any reviews. Okay. If you don't have any reviews, it's like, don't hang yourself type thing. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. So I'm giving you the rope. Just don't hang yourself.
How do you know what to charge?
You have to, that comes with location, furniture, the amenities that you offer. Those are the 3 main things.
Do you just take like the monthly rent divided by 30 days and kind of come up with that?
No. So you do have to do it that way, speaking technical, but when you are getting into the business, don't go get a unit for that where you have to pay $5,000 and you only can charge $100 a night. Because then you're not doing 100 times 30. You got to do like 100 times 19, 100 times 20, because you have to account for those vacant nights. You might not get booked every night.
And weekends are always more.
Yeah, well, you can make it that way. Mine aren't. Some people, no.
Is there a specific time of the year that is just peak season, or does it matter?
Now it's peak season because everyone's unit is different. I have a contract with acting agency. So I have and with Sony. So I have a lot of actors that come in, and it's pilot season. I think I just learned that. So I didn't even know nothing about no pilot season. I guess a bunch of actors are traveling. Yeah. So they're coming. So from this time to about summertime, it slows down when it's back to school time. Yeah. So like August, September, it starts to slow down.
I'm sure Tyler Perry bringing everything he's brought to Atlanta is helping that.
But honestly, he's about to build his own hotel on his campus, on his base.
One-stop shop for real.
Pissed. I love him, but pissed.
He has automated systems.
He's about to build a whole hotel on his base.
Oh wow,
it's crazy.
Wow. That's so. One last question. So, all right. So you don't have to have any special insurance.
No, just $100,000 depending on the property.
$100,000 of renter's insurance?
Yep, renter's insurance on the apartments. Insurance. On the luxury apartments, you have to have minimum $100,000.
Okay. Yep. So what's your personal take on the future of Airbnb? Like, do you think that, because like you said, there's a lot of issues with like LA specifically, New York, Boston,
San Francisco.
Yep. Do you think that in your just opinion, do you think Airbnb will continue to prosper, or do you think it's going to become harder and harder?
I honestly think it's becoming harder, but there's loopholes to any business. Politicians have loopholes. The president got loopholes. Every business that you have, it has loopholes. So when it comes to the regulations, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means you have to register and pay taxes on it, as if you were doing a regular house. So people think about regulations, even with Boston. They never say you couldn't do it. Tampa too. They never say you couldn't do Airbnb. They just said that you just have to register so you can pay taxes on this.
So you register it as a business
with the state,
and then that income you pay a tax, 1099.
Exactly.
At the end of the year.
Yep. Yeah, so they're not saying that you can't do it.
They're just saying that we need a piece.
We need a piece. Thank you. That's it. So to answer your question, it really.
Just depends.
Yeah, it just depends.
It depends. The thing is, it's all about.
But Atlanta, though, excuse me to cut you off. Atlanta is really prospering. Like, this is a city for it. Over 2018, Airbnb took $450 million of revenue from hotels.
Yeah, and that's the problem as far as like, it's just the same thing with Uber and the taxi lobby.
Exactly.
And the hotel industry is extremely strong.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's starting to kill the hotel industry. Yep. So now they fighting back. But Airbnb is $1 billion company as well. So they're not going to just go. So it's going to be a fight.
Yep.
But it's a lot of pressure that's being put on, from the hotel industry.
Yeah.
And you got community organizations and neighborhoods,
all that kind of stuff. And then with hotels, you have like occupancy fees. You know, when you go stay at a hotel, you gotta pay all those fees on the receipt when you check out. Permit fees. Yeah. Airbnbs, they're making us do the same thing. Yeah. That's it. So it's not gonna really cut nobody profits. It's not that bad.
All right. So the next segment, we're gonna talk about how you help people and how you educate people to get in the game and since how they can get some money in there.
One-on-one, yeah.
So, all right. So you're young and you got the game figured out and you're making a lot of money, but you also teach people and you've been teaching. So what made you want to do that? Because you could have just been getting money on your own. What made you want to go into education and actually, teach people and make them successful?
You want to know what really made me get into education? Greg. Big business.
Shout out to Big Business.
Shout out to Big Business.
Alumni. King of North Philly.
Big Business is what made me get into education.
How'd y'all meet?
Instagram.
Wow.
Instagram is a huge platform. I actually met Greg on Instagram and I became his client. And then we spent New Year's together last year. We were in Miami. We go to Philly. I just go to Philly just to go up there and kick it with them sometimes. Yeah. So that's how I met Greg. But just with I was like, I figured this business out. Once I had figured it out, I was like, well, it's time for me to do something else. I didn't want to keep just getting units. I was like, well, that becomes boring. So then that's when I thought about the classes. So my classes, they last about 4 hours and they're extremely informational. They're just larger. The one-on-ones is more so you actually getting your unit. That's my one-on-one. With the classes, it's just information. So you have to go figure it out on your own.
One-on-one, you actually take me through the process of getting it.
Yep, step by step.
Step by step, even down to you bring the interior designer in my spot.
Exactly.
Watch me get my first property.
Yep.
Wow.
Everything. And then I list it for you. When you just come to my class, you have to figure that system out yourself. I have step by step with my one-on-one program for you until you get listed, all the way until you get booked. And then once you get booked, once you get listed, a lot of my clients join my property management company. So literally, like you're holding on to my arm the whole entire time you have your unit.
Yeah.
What's the enjoyment of like because Troy's an educator and I teach financial literacy to kids. So like it's a different feeling for me to like know when it's good to know something, right? But when you could teach somebody something for me. And I'm sure Troy feels the same way. It's a different level of fulfillment.
Yeah.
And it's a different feeling. So like what's the feeling for you? Like when you actually teaching and you can tell that they're learning and then like they have success. Like how does that feel?
It feels so good. It feels so good me posting my clients. So if you go on my page, I have a few of my clients listed, their listings. It feels really good. It makes the mistakes that I made worth it. Yeah, it really does. Like I used to be like, dang, now I'll be having, man, I'll just wake up to 5 clients. You know what I'm saying? So now I get to a point where it's like, dang, those mistakes I made, people are really, so with the mistakes that I was making, which is how I came up with my automated systems, I put them all in an Excel sheet. So there's logistics for it. So for every mistake I've made, I promise that for any issue you have in the business, I have a solution for it. Yeah. There's not a solution I don't have for a problem in this business. And that's something that I've scaled. Yeah. So it's something that I've worked hard for. There's mistakes I've made. There's Superhost status that I lost from those mistakes that now I can teach people, hey, do it this way so that you don't make this mistake. Yeah. Hey, go this way so that you don't do it the way that I do it. Yeah. So it feels really good.
The last time we went to Atlanta, our guy Alex, he actually said that. He was like, people are not paying to learn from me. They're paying to get my mistakes so that they don't make the same.
Yeah,
that's true. So the classes, is it spread out throughout the United States? Are the clients from everywhere? Because I know you're based in Atlanta. Do you have Airbnbs outside of Atlanta?
No, I don't have Airbnbs, but my clients do.
They do, okay.
So we can do it virtually. So we can do it through a phone call. That's how simple my one-on-one program is. But it works. And if you do it the way I say,
I was going to say, good. Investing in yourself is the best investment.
Absolutely.
I tell people that all the time. It's like, what's the price? If you play basketball, how much would you pay for Michael Jordan to show you how to play? you can't put a price on that.
You
like, you know what I'm
can't.
saying? And it's like that kind of, it accelerates.
Yeah.
You might get to where you want to go by yourself. But that's the whole thing, having a mentor.
Exactly.
Having a coach. And this is why, like LeBron, like he pays $1 million a year just on his body.
What?
He has to,
But there's a reason why he's not hurt every year.
Exactly.
Right, he's not- don't get
Exactly.
hurt.
Chefs and massage therapists, trainers, and all that. And so it's like, I always tell people with your business, it's like, what's your budget to improve your business? It's like, if you don't have a budget to improve your business, you're not serious about improving your business.
That's true.
It's just a fact.
Yeah. So, and then I see other people, people look at my price and they compare it to other people's. So if I just went up to $2,000 January because I'm like, I saw how many clients I was scaling. I'm like, this is worth more than what I'm charging for.
How many clients you got right now?
Right now I have 67 clients.
Wow. Okay.
So for 2020, I went up to $2,000. So now my one-on-ones are 2,000. And I go on other people who are doing Airbnb, and they're charging the same thing, but we have the same systems. And there's other people who are charging a whole lot less, but they're just getting their feet wet. My feet are wet. Like I'm swimming. You see what I'm saying?
How many sessions